Welcome back, everyone. Summer planting season has begun, and here to help us out with that is Naturalist Lindsey Gallaugher from Johnny Appleseed. Welcome.
Good morning, Chris. Yes, so plants, native plants are going to be the best for our backyards. And so I want to talk about the importance of native plants, what they are, what we can do, and how they help. So native plants are plants that have been around for thousands of years in a particular region, and they are well suited and well adapted to that area. And because they've been here so long, native plants have formed special relationships with wildlife. And that's where it comes in that you can plant these natives and help support wildlife in your backyard. So native plants support insects directly because insects, the vast majority of them, are herbivores. So they'll be eating those plants. And the insects have got to eat the plants that they recognize, that they know how to eat. So the other thing is that the majority of insects, 90% of them, are specialists, which means that they can only eat one or a very few similar types of plants. And Chris, have you heard about the monarch butterfly, right? So that's probably the best example that we have. Monarchs go hand in hand with milkweed. That is the host plant for those monarch caterpillars. Adult butterflies lay their eggs on milkweed leaves, and that is the only food that those monarch caterpillars can eat, is that milkweed. So if we don't have any milkweed, we won't have any monarchs. Now, those type of relationships exist with all types of other insects and plants, but it doesn't just stop at insects. Indirectly, those positive beneficial relationships between native plants and the local insect wildlife reverberates up the food chain to some of these animals I brought with me today. Yeah. So I've got our box turtle here, always a fan favorite. This is Marshmallow, an eastern box turtle here. So she's got to eat some of the insects that are being supported by our native plants, or she's eating the slugs and she's eating the worms and all of the other critters as part of the food web that are at its base supported by native plants in this region. And I also have another charismatic animal that we can find out here supported by our native plants. Our little toad here. So this is our American toad. This is Legolas right there. She, again, is going to be supported by all of the insects, all of the small invertebrates, all the critters in the leaf litter that have to eat native plants to survive. And Chris, I like to think about native plants for these animals as kind of as plastic food for us, right? So if someone handed you a plastic apple or like a child's play apple as part of their kitchen set, well, it looks like an apple. It's about the same size as an apple, same weight. Can you eat that apple?
I probably would try.
I know. But our bodies can't process it. And that's what these alien or non-native plants are doing for our wildlife. It looks the same to us. It looks like a leaf, it looks like a plant, but they can't eat it. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is that natives are super easy for your backyard. Do you remember those set it and forget it infomercials?
Yes.
Right? That was the hot thing in the 90s, right? That's how native plants are for your yard. You don't have to accumulate all of the things it would take to support a lawn and all of the time and expense. You can plant your native plants, set it and forget it. And because they're adapted to the soil, the temperature, the water, they tend to do really, really well. Now, if you want to learn more about this and other topics related to native plants, I'll be out at the Allen Soil and Water Conservation District's annual rain barrel sale. So this Saturday, they'll be going on from 9 to noon. I'll do a little bit more in-depth presentation about native plants. That starts at 9:30. And then we also have an optional craft to go along with that. Grapevine is, you are familiar with grapevine.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we bring it in all the time. It is a native plant, but it can get a little overrun in certain areas, so we're going to do some crafts with grapevine.
Yeah, that's going to be a great event because not only do you learn about the native plants, but you can purchase them too, right?
Absolutely. So you'll be able to purchase those plants. You'll be able to purchase the rain barrels. Soil and Water Conservation District staff will be on hand to answer all your questions, help make your lawn beautiful like this. And really, it doesn't have to be your entire lawn. You can just start with a corner. You can start, make sure there's all different kinds of native plants, tall ones, ground level, mid-level, all different seasons, all different colors.
All right, well, Lindsey, thanks so much for coming out today.
You're very welcome.
All right, well, don't go away because we have more when we return.